Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of my Sunderland 11, as always in association with the Sunderland Food Bank. Again, Sunderland Food Bank do incredible work over the city of Sunderland. I'll leave a link on how you can donate to them and support in the link in the description and around the video. But on to my guest today. Everyone should recognise him from the Sunderland Till I Die series. It's Peter Farah. Peter, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thanks. Surviving the lockdown and COVID. Just got to get on with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, everyone should know that you are a taxi driver. So how have you found working during the lockdown?
Well, I've worked since the lockdown, since it started last March. But I had to spell off because I've had prostate cancer. So I was off for about 6 weeks. And I've had it all removed and I've had it all clear. So apart from that, I've worked right the way through it. But the money side of the taxi rides, it's dropped right down, it's very poor at the minute, but you've just got to get on with it. You can moan as much as you like, it's not going to get any better.
Yeah, I know, and that's good to hear, by the way, of the cancer going. So yeah, I think it's probably good as well to get out the house as well, even if it's, I don't know, just for a few hours, and even if there's no customers. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people staying in the house is just the most frustrating thing at the moment. But I think it's good to sort of get out of the house for a little bit.
Exactly right. That's the one plus of the job. I don't meet other people, so we can talk about anything in general, football, COVID, whatever you want, politics. But once I'm back in the house, it's just me and my wife, and that's the way it is. I'll go watch the games.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully we'll all be out, say, fairly soon. I mean, I'm not too sure yet. We'll see how it goes.
Nobody knows.
No, nobody knows. So the next question really is, obviously a lot of people should recognise you from the Sunderland Till I Die series, both series. How did you first get involved and get contacted, and then the cameras, you just take part in the series?
Well, as you know, I drink in the Colliery Tavern, which is just beside the ground. And it was the night when Grayson got the sack. It was that game. It was the night match. And there was a camera crew coming in the Colliery Tavern. And I was standing with my mates, the lads that go to the matches every game, and they just come across and asked us if I'd say a few words about Sunderland. And I just said, how long have you got? And that was basically it. I just said what I wanted to say. And the following day, they rang us back up. They said they were really pleased the way I come across and would I like to do some more. So from there, it just went on all that season. They used to ring us up and I'd go out in a taxi or in a pub or in the house and just film us and just asked me. It wasn't just so much about the football club, it was more about Sunderland itself, the city. That's what they were trying to get at. The main objective, I thought, they wanted to portray Sunderland as a right working class down and out place.
Yeah.
But I know the city like the back of my hand, so I took them out the place as well. It didn't look like that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed doing it. I wouldn't have done it if I didn't enjoy doing it, and they were great people. Then, of course, that season was completed. Then they decided to make a second series, and that's as if I'd go into that and same format again. Just go and talk about the club games, just life in general. It wasn't. I tried to make it not so much just about the football, about try and portray the city in a good light, and I think I've come across well in that.
Yeah, I think so, and I think the documentary put Sunderland, the city of Sunderland, in the best light possible. I think, and that's great to see as well. But how did you find just the cameras following you around, sort of most days, really going to work with you? I'm sure, after a loss, I mean, there was plenty of them in the first championship season. How did you find that, just the cameras following you around?
Didn't bother us one little bit. I'm not an actor, and I haven't got to think about what I say. I just said what I wanted to say. I never had to be prompted or nothing. It's the way I am, And since this program, I get recognised, and I'm not blowing me on trumpet. I get recognised all over the place. I've been recognised in London by the Metropolitan Police. But the biggest thing that's come out of this, and this is. It's a River Plate football club in Argentina. I've latched onto Sunderland. Last April, I got a phone call. Well, my son did, because I'm not on Twitter or Facebook. I don't want to be on it. And he says, I've got this fella on from Argentina, River Plate Football Club. I said, oh, wait, man, you're kidding, aren't you? Anyway, they call him Sebastian. And my son gave him my telephone number, he got in touch with us. And and fell in love with Sunderland Football Club, River Plate. And there's Sebastian, Nicholas, and Marto, the fanatical River Plate supporters, by the way, but they now become fanatical Sunderland supporters. And I've been invited across to go to Argentina to go and stay with them and with my son and whoever else wants, because we formed a WhatsApp group. And every night they contact us, we talk about, especially like last night, it's non-stop, phones going, talking about the game, what's going on. And they have fell in love with Sunderland. I'm not being funny, but they fell in love with me. And I've had the River Plate chairman on, sending his videos, saying how much he loves Sunderland, how much he loves me. And I've been in Fox News over there. Fox News, which is like Sky News here. And I've done interviews on there. I've done a big article about this in the River Plate magazine. And I've been in Sports Illustrated. I've been in the Observer. It's opened lots of avenues for us, this Netflix thing. But
I can see.
Speaking to you, you know, you wouldn't have picked me out. You've only picked me out because of the program.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think it was great because you are such a, as you say, you know the city of Sunderland like the back of your hand, probably being a taxi driver and being from there. And I think just the passion that you have for the club anyway. And I think a quote you said in the Sunderland Till I Die series, you're like, apart from my family, Sunderland's my second love. You know, and it just shows, exactly. And it's the same. It's exactly the same for me as well. I think what people have said to people who aren't football supporters, what they can't understand is that I don't think to us Sunderland is just a team we support on the side. It literally is our lives. You know, like right now we're wearing. It's almost like a Sunderland shirt is our skin. Really, it's like a Sunderland badge is on our skin, and it's like everything about us really. So
I'll tell you something, mate. I've never ever once wore a football strip to go to the match. Sunderland strip, never. I think there's nothing worse. I'm honest. You see blokes, massive, big bellies, walking around with a Sunderland strip on. They look ridiculous, man. Sorry for young kids.
Yeah, I mean, my dad doesn't wear it.
Never ever wore a strip once to go to the match.
That's the same with my dad. He never wears a Sunderland shirt to go to a match. I think the only time I ever saw him wear a Sunderland shirt to go to the match is where we stayed up and sent the mags down, and it was Watford away, last game of the season. We're all there, just a massive celebration, and my dad put a Sunderland shirt on to go to that game, and that's the only time he's ever done it. So
this shirt I've got on here is the only time I wore it when I got filmed at the. No, it was the Portsmouth game, the playoff final. That was it. And they took a photograph of us for Sky Bet, and there was a big, massive photograph of us on Wembley Way on the wall. I didn't even know that until somebody told us. And that's the only time I've ever wore this shirt for a match.
Yeah, it's a shame it wasn't a lucky shirt that day, because that was a bit of a. Yeah. I know. We all need to stop going, I think, and if we get there again this season, I think it won't be a bad thing if we all can't go in the Papa John's Trophy.
Yeah, Covent Garden will never be the same.
Yeah, I know. It never will. But obviously, go back to when the first season was released, and you went from just sort of being a taxi driver around Sunderland and people getting in your taxi and recognizing you from sort of the Netflix series. And how was that sort of like first interaction of someone recognizing you and people just getting in your taxi? And
well, just in the taxi, they used to get in they'd be in the taxi and they'd be like, it's him, you know, it's the taxi driver. So Till I Die. And I said, aye, that's me. Anyway, but it's women, men, old people, grandmas, kids, young people. I get recognised if I went into town. People would look at us and say hi to us. I don't even know who they are.
Yeah.
But it was good. I've had loads of selfies took. And people's asking for my autograph, man. Away of daft stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure it is great, really. And I know for a fact. I'll tell you this. When I go to Sunderland, I stay at the Grand Hotel in Seaburn. It used to be the Marriott. And we usually just get taxis from there to the games. and every time we've always asked for you to take us to the games. But it's never have you. I think you've been too busy.
No, what it is, I'll go at the match. I never work when Sunderland play. I never get me in a taxi the day Sunderland play football. Never.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. I recently got a job, and it's my first sort of job, and they put me on a Saturday, and I missed the game, and I've never been so gutted in my life to miss a game. And I said, I'm never doing that again.
No, like I say, since about 1977, 78, I think I've only missed 5 games, home games.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't, if I had to get a job and meant is that to work Saturday afternoon, I wouldn't take the job. Simple as that.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's good to hear. So I think, so obviously you're glad that you did the Sunderland Till I Die series, though, and you have no sort of regrets
really,
because it has.
I enjoyed every minute of it, you know. But like I say, here's a little story for you, right? You know, is it Jim White that does Sky Sports News?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But he also talks sport, and he's interviewing the full 73, the people who made it, who put the money up for it. And Jim White says, "Are you making a second series?" He says, "Oh yes." He says, "Has Peter the taxi driver is he going to be in it? He should have an agent in." And the answer they give back was, "If Peter hadn't agreed to be in it, we weren't going to make the second series." That's what they said. But like I say, I've had some great write-ups about it. I know it sounds really big at it, but people, I've done Sunderland proud, and I'm pleased.
Yeah, I absolutely, completely agree. Yeah, completely agree. I think when I showed the series to my friends, like from down here who never sort of seen Sunderland before, I've sat them down and forced them to watch the series, because you're like, you need to watch this and understand Sunderland for a minute, because it's not just any other footballing club. And I think when you come on in like the first sort of episode and you're explaining it, it gives that immediate like effect, and you think, wow, like, you know, Sunderland is this massive footballing city, and it's like a city that revolves around the football. It's not just, you know, like down here in like London, where it's just a big city, everything's going on, you've got loads of different football teams, loads of things going on. But in Sunderland, it's just mainly that football team, and I think that's something you really do help get across to people.
No, it is, like I say, what I said in the shorts too. Everybody, I've had old age pension, I'm nearly old age pension myself, but I've had 60, 70, 80-year-old women in, and they can talk about Sunderland. They know what's going on, you know.
Yeah,
it's a one city club.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody supports other teams. You support Sunderland, you don't like football.
Yeah, exactly. That's the main thing, and I think that's what makes Sunderland so special to from other places. And when I sort of go there from and spend some time up there away from down here, it's like two completely different worlds. And I can say that Sunderland is a world I enjoy a lot more than the one down here.
Like Roy Keane's dad, he used to come to watch all the games when Roy was managing, and he said to me friend, he used to drink the Navy Club, Roy Keane's dad, and Roy Keane's dad said, "I've been all over the world with Roy watching him play football, but I've never ever been to a place like Sunderland."
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Dad's place.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think there is anywhere apart from anywhere like Sunderland. Really, you either really love it or you just don't fit into it, and it doesn't work. And
there's no grey area. You're either interested in Sunderland or you're not interested in football.
Yeah, exactly. And it's such a traditional thing as well. It's been there for a long time, and obviously it's not great at the moment. But hopefully one day it'll get back to how it was before.
Well, it's football, you know. It's following Sunderland. Basically, there's nothing goes straightforward for us. Never has done. Never will do.
No, I know.
It's going to take.
I know it's meant to be completed mid-January. We're now on the 27th now, so the more questions are going to start to be asked from the ownership. But anyway, I think if we just move on to Sunderland now, watching it now, obviously now at a time where we all can't be in the stadiums. So how have you found like sort of watching the game now compared to being in the stadium? And I've had a few different mixed reviews from people. They've said, oh, they've enjoyed the fact that it's easy to get up and turn the stream off if we're playing badly, or anything like that. So how do you find watching the game now compared to how it was in the stadium?
I'm just going to plug my phone back in because I might put out of charge.
That's all right.
No, I think honestly, it's not so much I miss the games, of course. Don't totally miss going to match, but I miss my friends going.
Yeah.
We go the same lads I've been going to match with for nearly 40, 50 years. And we'll meet up in the Colliery Tavern week in, week out. That's the bit you miss. And of course, when the game starts, you miss the football, of course. But the thing about this season is you're watching every minute of every game. Which I wouldn't say many of the away games. So you're seeing every mistake that's been made. Yeah. You're seeing it once and all before you listen on the radio. And it was just somebody's opinion, what I thought of the game. But now you're seeing everything that's going on. And you think, God, that's... it's not the best of football. It's a power league.
No.
But we're supporting Sunderland, that's what it's about. We'll still be supporting Sunderland whenever. If you either support them, you're not got to remember we're in the third, what I still call a third division league. And we've got third division players. We're not watching Premier League players. This team we've got are in this league because that's the level they are.
Yeah.
Simple as
absolutely. That. Yeah, no, absolutely, completely agree. And watching all the games, it does get very frustrating at times because I think we were used to. I mean, I watch the Premier League now. I had a game on, and I don't really watch the Premier League that much more because I feel I'm so yeah.
I know matches in the Premier League are terrible to watch. They're terrible, like a game of chess. Man United, Liverpool the other week in the league it was shocking.
Yeah,
I'd rather watch the Championship games on the telly.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no atmosphere in the grounds either, man. And the only good thing about the Premiership this time, you've got our friends up the road, Great Black and White Nation. They're just in turmoil. That's the best thing, a disgrace. Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, I think that obviously I'm not really investing in the Premier League, but I'm watching the Premier League game and like the amount of quality, the quality difference between them. I just see the way how they move the ball and pass the ball. And I'm like, Jesus, this is completely different to how the current Sunderland players are. No.
Well, that team, and of course, if we were in the Premier League, we wouldn't have that team.
Yeah.
But if you could transform that team, present side, into Premier League, it wouldn't be worth watching.
No, I know exactly.
That side and the Championship would struggle.
Yeah. Well, if we to go up to the Championship, I'd get rid of most of the players and only keep maybe a select few like Willis or an O'Nien and a few others. But none of them are really good enough for me.
I think what will happen in the team, present moment of the team's pace. We've got no real pace anywhere on the pitch. And what really annoys me at the minute, when they're knocking the ball about on the edge of our box from the goalkeeper, we're not good enough to do it. The pitch is not good enough to do it. We're going to get caught out big style one game doing that. So that was last night we played at Ipswich. Ipswich pitch was like a bowling green compared to Stadium of Light. And you can't get away with knocking the ball about. But the way the pitches at the Stadium of Light's a disgrace, man.
And how they let it get to that, I do not know. I think the groundsman's still furloughed or something like that.
Furloughed. But you've got to remember, grounds furloughed. You could still have two groundsmen now. There wasn't a ball kicked on the pitch from March up till September. You can't tell me two groundsmen couldn't keep him. Look after that pitch. That's all he's got to do, look after the pitch. I bet you can look after your lawn at home. That's all he had to do, look after the pitch, and he had to do it. But is there something wrong with underground heating or some drainage fault? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
There's no excuse for that.
I know there's no excuse. No, there's no excuse in it. It was awful to see, really, because you think. Well, I mean, I say Premier League quality, academy, stadium, pitch, and then we come out and I see that against Plymouth, and people were saying it in Sunderland that day when it was raining, it wasn't even. yes, it was raining quite a lot, but it wasn't like serious rain where it was like this match could definitely be called off. You know, so to see the pitch like that, it was, yeah.
I don't know. And the thing was, the forecast, they knew it was coming. Forecast bad heavy rain.
Yeah.
So they should have been preparing it better than what they did. And another thing that night, I don't know if, when it was half time, I never saw a groundsman on the pitch at half time.
Yeah.
That little things, you know. That's what really annoys me about Sunderland at the minute. We're a big club, we know that. We're a massive football club. We've got a great stadium, we've got great training facilities. But some of the stuff, the way it's run is like amateurs, like Sunday morning, you know.
Yeah.
But it's down to money. It's nothing else. It's all it's down to, money, you know.
Yeah.
We're lucky the matches are still getting paid. And I always say, there was a big song and dance about John Cook getting sacked. Been there 40-odd years, and he was a kit man, so he's been well paid for 40-odd years, plus he played. What about the poor people who's lost their jobs yesterday of COVID? You know, and we're about all the work at Debenhams. They've all lost their jobs. You know, it's the way we want to think ourselves, look, you're still waking up for some people. It's horrendous work.
Yeah, completely agree, really, and I think it's very unfortunate situation for a lot of people, really, and with the football club as well. It's all down to money as well, and trying to maintain certain things. You know, they've managed to maintain the Cat 1 Academy, and just different things like that. But I think we're starting to see really what the effect of being in League One actually has, where the things that when we're in the Premier League, things were normally done, no one thought anything of them, and now certain things are happening, and you think, well, you know, why is that not done? But maybe because we're in League One, and it's just the cutbacks and
they haven't got. It's the cutbacks that kind of they haven't got the money to it. You know, there's no income coming in the club. You kind of just constantly pull out. You've got to start putting something back.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
And we've got off the most.
Yeah, exactly.
Like say we've got 15,000 season holders. Plus it was by the stream. How many other clubs has done this? They've got a lot better than the clubs. But it can't go on forever.
No, exactly. It can't. So I think it will get to a certain point where we have to sort of have fans back in the stadium, and because otherwise football won't be able to continue. I don't think, and everyone's missing it really as well. So I think that's sort of one main thing that we need to get back in there, and we need to get back in there and be supporting the team again. So
yes, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, exactly. So my next question before we go through your starting 11 is, in your own words, and I know they haven't been too nice to you over the past few years, but what does Sunderland AFC mean to you?
Sunderland AFC has been me. Well, I know Stuart Donald personally. I know Charlie Medford personally. Been interviewed over. They've always been good with us, you know. But as far as the players, never once met a football player through it. I've never interviewed any of them. It's just, I just still go to the match like I normally do. It's I haven't getting anything out of it, you know. But every time I've been involved, again, I just go to the match and they don't. They've never really been to us. I've spoken to them. I've spoken to them. The Americans who was going to buy sport to one of them outside the Colliery Tavern, you know. So. But as far as the football club, I haven't really been involved with this, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's perfect answer, really. Yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of people criticise sort of the owners of the club, but I think when you sort of get to know them personally, and you sort of see a bit more of their work and what they've done, you appreciate them. A little bit more.
You couldn't meet a nicer man than Stuart Donald.
Yeah,
you couldn't meet a better nicer man than Stuart Donald. Tell you what he's done. This is just one for you. I've got a grandson who lives in Liverpool, and it was not last Christmas, not last season, the season before. And I just says, I've got a son. The son who lives in Liverpool, there's a season ticket holder. He used to come up, and I said, I've got a grandson down there. Some football stuff down for my grandson. He was only 18 months, if that. And then he says, I'll give you name and number. Anyway, 2 or 3 months went by and I thought he'd forget all about us there. So anyway, I got his, what was his PA? He says, it's lost down Liverpool. He says, well, you give him it. I says, I'll give him. Seen the stuff he sent out to my grandson down Liverpool, strips and all sorts. Now, we didn't have to do that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, he's a genuine bloke. It's just unfortunate it doesn't work out for him. And people think he's a businessman. He's took some football club on to make money. And that's what they do it for. You know, that's why you go to work. That's why I'm going to. You don't go to work to make friends. You go to work to make money, man.
Yeah, exactly.
People got to remember where would we be without them?
Yeah, I know exactly, and I think as well. I think they are sort of good people in what they try to do and what they try to do in the first season, and then I accept that. I think the only thing that they had the problem with is just the type of the people they are. They're probably not suited to owning a club like Sunderland, you know, with the money that they had. If they all worked in the first season, I'm sure it would have all been okay. But to long term own a club like Sunderland, for them, they're just not. I don't think they're just not suited to it. Charlie Methven and Stuart Donald, I think they did a great job in the first season, but for the long term, just the financial side of things, I just don't think that they were. Yeah, the initial start,
just didn't work out. We never got promotion.
Yeah,
but like I say, Stuart Donald long gone, but we'll still be watching Sunderland. That's who owns the club, who playing. Well, especially your age, you'll still be following Sunderland. You know, so it doesn't matter who's in charge or whatever. You're still a Sunderland supporter, you always will be.
Yeah, exactly. And it's what I said before is when I started watching Sunderland, I didn't even know who the owners were. I just fell in love with the team on the pitch. So no matter who owns the club or whatever, it's all about the team on the pitch. Those are the most important people in the entire club, really.
It's the supporters that run the football team, nobody else. Without your supporters, you haven't got a football club.
Yeah, exactly. And I think as well, you know, not too positive of what's happening now in the last few years, but we've had also a positive history, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make this series as well. So we'll look back on sort of your positive history with Sunderland as well. So we'll start going through your starting 11 now. So who have you got in goal?
I'm saying you're breaking up. I can hardly see you.
Can you? Yeah, it's having a bit of a blip. It might sort itself out in a minute. Is that okay?
Yeah, you better know. You better know. Yes.
Better now. Okay, good.
You better know.
Brilliant. So we'll just go through your starting 11 now, if that's all right. So if you start us off, who have you got in goal?
With my 11, right? Is that what
with your 11, yeah.
Right. Well, in goal, he won out the blue. Sheer Given. He's outstanding. We've got Blackburn on loan. Played 17 games for Sunderland, 12 clean sheets. He was an acrobat. He was an acrobat. He was strong. He was brave. He was a really good goalkeeper. Unfortunately, we just had him on loan from Blackburn. We never bought him. That's another one. Went through the net. Yeah,
exactly. It was only on loan a season, wasn't it? Or I'm not too sure.
Games.
17 games.
Got him from Blackburn. I think he went to Celtic after that.
Yeah.
He went back to Blackburn, and of course he ended up in Newcastle. But of
course,
like I say, he was the best goalkeeper I've seen. I've seen Monty, I've seen them all, but overall, it was class.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. So, move on now to your wing backs. So we'll start with your right back. Who have you gone with the right back?
Well, I've got Joe Bolton for that. Saying Joe Bolton.
Yeah.
He was a local lad. He's from Berkeley. Played in the 60s, 70s. He was a right hard case. If you got tackled by Joe Bolton, you knew you'd been tackled. And he got 100%, you know. He's good at going forward, big man, and just typical person who what Sunderland was like. Get him up in and give 100%, you know. But
Yeah.
skillful full-backs, but he's all in every game. I've said Joe Bolton.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So that's great to see. So who have you gone with at left back? Oh, frozen.
Next
Are we back?
player I've got
Yep.
down is Dave Watson.
Dave
There?
Watson. Is that a centre?
Dave
Is that a centre
Watson's
back?
centre off.
Centre off.
Yeah, he was outstanding, Dave Watson. We got him from Rotherham. He come as a centre forward, actually. Played a few games as centre forward, and I think he might have just been caretaker manager at the time, but Billy Elliott moved him back to centre off. And from that, the rest is just history. He was outstanding for Sunderland. He was a header of a ball. He could play football. He could play on the floor. He could pass it. Scored goals. He was just a big, strong, great centre off. And he just got on with the game. You know, he wasn't one of these you read about him in the papers. He just played, and he always gave 100%. He was big, strong, class centre off. Typical what you want for a centre off. Good in the air, good on the floor, could tackle. Get the goal from corners or freaks. Class, world class.
Very good. Very good. Brilliant. And his defensive partner, who have you got?
I've picked Sean Elliott.
Yeah.
No, he was got part of the team by and we're having a really bad in the 70s, about 75, running about then. And he brought Sean Elliott in, Kevin Arnott, Gary Rowell. They're all just young boys. And Sean Elliott was centre off. Yet again, he's another local lad. He's from Northumberland. But he always give 100%. My team, when you say it, it's just going to always give you 100%. And he was quick. He could win the great tackler, strong. Another great centre off, you know. He had pace. He was, yet again, he never let us down. He always give 100%. And I think that's what you want. That's what some supporters like. They don't like to see people who's cheating them. As long as you're giving you 100%, you get by it. And he was definitely that.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. No, that's great to see. I think that's all the supporters want at the moment. They don't want anyone coming to the club, and they would obviously you want to go earn your money, hard-earned money, and spend it on players who are actually going to care and do their absolute best for you on the pitch. So, so you're a left back.
Another local lad, Mickey Gray. It's local. He was classic going forward. Mickey Gray. He played for Sunderland nearly all his career. Of course, the goal at the end of the goal, all over the place. But another one I was give his all for Sunderland. He's a local lad. Good defender. He's good at going forward. He linked up very well with our wingers at the time. He was entertaining. He was more of entertaining. He was good as far as like Joe Bolton would kick right, Mickey Gray would beat you with skill. Yeah,
exactly. No, that's great. I think as a supporter, a lot of people remember now. It's sort of talking 20 years ago now, where it was part of a great team in the Premier League of Peter Reid, and sort of the last best time in the club's history. Since then we have never really done as well. Brilliant. Yeah. So that's your defensive.
You couldn't fault Mike Gray. Suddenly he had to give 100% because he was saying all over the place in the town. But I like Michael Gray.
No, that's fair. That's fair enough. So that is your defensive line now, goalkeeper and back four. So we'll move on to your midfield four. Can you start us off with your wingers? So who have you gone with at left wing?
Alan Johnson, player Alan Johnson. He come from Rennes, friend. Him and Mickey Gray linked up really well. That was part of the success what we had in that time. He could cross a ball well. He beat a man. He crossed a ball without stopping it. And he was. Yet again, there might have been people might disagree, but overall, like I say, he was skillful. He could beat a man. He wasn't a superstar, but at the time, in the context team we was in, he was throw the likes of him, Quinn and Phillips got so many goals as they did. You know.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I think a lot of people, when I've done this episodes, a lot of people have said, I think nearly everyone said Alan Johnston in their team. So it just shows really what a good player he was, and what I've seen of him is a great player who could cut in and shoot on his right and score a lot of goals as well. So I think all the players in that team at the time really complemented each other well. If we switch over to your right wing, though, who have you gone with?
The other winger?
The other winger, yeah. Yeah.
Nicky Sumby. Like I said, he was very similar to Alan John. He could put in, he scored some goals, you know, like he could beat them. He was comfortable on the ball, you know. Like I said, people say, he looks a bit lazy, but maybe he was a bit lazy, but he had the skill to counteract that, you know. Yet again, you had Johnson on one side, Sumby on the other. You know, that's how we scored so many goals as we did through them. And like I said, another one. A lot of these people come to Sunderland, and, you know, like you just said, Sunderland. Once they're here, they don't want to leave us. They love it, you know.
Yeah.
Well, he's come from Man City, you know. His dad's famous. He come to Sunderland, and he doing Sunderland. He never let himself down at Sunderland. He always gives what I hear 100%, and he was quite a good player.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. And I think, I with a lot of people as well, they sort of come to Sunderland. You know, you could say, Gary Bennett, for example. You can even say Danny Collins. You know, come up here to Sunderland, and they've just stayed since because they love it in the northeast. You know, so that's it's just one of the players. Yeah, exactly. Even Kevin Ball said that he didn't know Sunderland at the beach. Yeah. I know exactly. I know exactly, and I think they're surprised.
It's my all-time.
Yeah, carry on. Yeah.
See, once you're here, not many people leave Sunderland once they come here.
Yeah.
The next player is my all-time great, Tony Towers. Absolutely brilliant. We got him from Man City as well. He could pass a ball. He could tackle. One of the best penalty takers I've ever seen. He could take great free kicks. He was absolutely it's my opinion, of course, standing. I'll tell you a story about Tony Towers. Well, we played in 1973 at Mace Mark, and Towers played that day, and I was at the match. And Mickey also, who played for Sunderland at the time, he fouled Towers, or Towers fouled one of the two. Mickey also was only a young lad. He was only about 19. Towers wouldn't have been much older. And they jumped up and they were like eyeing each other. Now, when you say now, they nut each other on the pitch while they just touched their head like that.
Yeah.
Fully nutted. Mickey also straight in the face. He knocked them plain out. And every time I say Mickey also, because he sometimes goes to the golf club on my. Do you remember Tony Towers, Mickey, when he flattened you? And he goes, didn't talk about that. He hates it when he mentioned that. Mickey also absolutely floored him. And he got suspended and he never played in the Towers. We signed him after the cup run, of course. And Maves played field manager at Sunderland. Class. Yeah. Absolutely class.
No, yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. It's a shame we haven't had more players like that, because that's just creates a good story, really, isn't it?
The next one is another one, Alex Ray. Scotsman, signed him well. Bad case, you know. He always gave 100% for Sunderland. Another one who fell in love with the place, loves the place. You know, skillful player, win a bar, score good goals. Just all of this, that's what they were. You know, they would win, tackle, they pass it, they would score. And not just give you 100%. And like I said, I think a good combination between Towers and Alex Ray in midfield. You'd know you'd been tackled when Alex Ray gets smoked in there. They could look after his.
Yeah, I think he was a player that played really well. I think with Kevin Ball, didn't he? They had a great partnership in that sort of time as well. And it was that team.
Kevin Ball and Alex. Kevin Ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Wouldn't like to fight either, would you?
No, no. So I think in that sort of time, it was one of those players, an integral part, and obviously one that all complemented each other really well. So that's your midfield done. we'll head up to your strike force who's going to score the goals. I think I can guess who these people are, but do you want to explain them anyway?
Well, the first one's, I would say, Kevin Phillips. Just goal scoring. He's prolific, you know. He's only gone from Watford. Nobody knew nothing about him. He's only a young lad. And he just started off. Well, it took him, I wouldn't say started off straight away, but he gradually become a cult hero at finish. He scored some fantastic goals. I'll never forget the one he scored against Chelsea. But you'd go on forever.
Yeah.
But he never only scored them with his head, about 5'7", 5'8". He's a bit bigger. But he just go on. You kind of. Well, did you get the golden boot when he was at Sunderland?
Yeah, the European golden boot as well. European golden boot. The only Englishman to ever win that.
I don't think a long time before that happened. It was fantastic. But like I said, his goal scoring, you could have. Now again, he's getting well and truly looked after. You know, there's some weird balls coming in and stuff like that. A forward's only as good as the ball you get. You know.
Yeah.
And that's what he was. Yeah. But he give him the chance, he would put it away 9 times out of 10. I wish we had another one.
Yeah, completely agree. I think as well that I think maybe the closest player we got to that after was maybe Jermaine Defoe. But I think with Kevin Phillips as well, I thought wherever the ball was, whether it was outside the box, inside the box, he didn't just score tap-ins; he scored absolute screamers, like you said, the one against Chelsea,
goals.
The chip against Newcastle. Just any goals.
Any goal's a good goal.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. As long as it goes in. So I'm guessing you got Charlie Wyke up front with Kevin Phillips.
Charlie Wyke. Poor Charlie, man. Charlie's bad.
Yeah, I know.
There's worse players.
There certainly is.
I mean, next question was.
Yeah.
Niall Quinn.
Yeah.
That's a gentleman, that man. I've had him in my taxi and he couldn't make a nicer man. But like I say, he started off his knee, before he got back, and everybody thought we'd bought a crock. But anyway, sorted himself out. And he just went on to be another hero, Loves the place, loves the city, loves the people. He's just an absolute gent, And he always gave 100% at Sunderland. He turned the club round when he became chairman. He got the manager in, and he was just an honest, genuine man. Like I said, gentleman, real good centre forward, good target man, and him and Phillips just play each other great. It was a great relationship on the pitch.
Yeah.
Like I say, if we only have them two back now.
Yeah, I know. If he had two players like that now, it'd be it would make all the difference, really. But yeah, so it's just a shame. It's just a shame that we don't. But I mean, Niall Quinn, obviously a player that came to the club looking to retire.
Okay, Warren, it's a shame. There'll be a Kevin Phillips out there now somewhere. There'll be Niall Quinn knocking about. It's up to someone to try and find them. My manager is Roy Keane. He got the club going. He got the fans on his side. He was just absolute. He's doing everything. He loved. Someone loves Sunderland as well. I think he's admitted Sunderland. But he just done everything. He took no prisoners on the pitch when he played, and I think it was the same when he was a manager. He done really well. When he come, when it really rock bottom of the first division, and he got us promoted. He had a great record at Sunderland. Just typical Roy Keane. It didn't work out at the finish, and Roy Keane doesn't get his own way. He's gone. But I liked everything about him as a player, as a person, as a manager. He just ran the club properly.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think he was the manager of Sunderland when I started getting in. When I got into the team, he was the person there in charge. And such a great guy. You wouldn't get a player like that now in modern football. You really wouldn't. And he was a fantastic player. and a fantastic manager as well. One I'd have back now, without a doubt.
That's my football 11. But I was where that team turned out on Saturday, but never nothing happened, will it? You know?
No, it won't.
I'll always support Sunderland. I'll always support Sunderland. And like I say, there's my mates who go to matches every week. A lad called Trevor, Richie Cowie, and Will, with that week in, week out, watching us. Like I said at the start, it's not so much the football. It's a friendship you create through following Sunderland. Some of these lads have been going to match with nearly 50 years. Like 48, 49 years.
Yeah.
Miss a game. If we miss a game, there's something sadly wrong. Either in hospital or something.
Yeah.
Really is.
Yeah.
Something's happened. And that's what I'm missing about the match. That's why I enjoyed so much doing that Sunderland Till I Die. Because it was about my main objective at Sunderland back on the map.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, no, I think you put it across perfectly there. And the reason why everyone's missing it is just that interaction with other people is not very nice. And we'll one day get the football back, hopefully soon, whenever that is. But I was just going to say we've pretty much gone through everything, gone through the team and the manager. So this is it really. It's the end of the episode. Right. So I was just going to thank you, Peter, for coming on and telling us your team.
Well, the thing is, the name of the program, Sunderland Till I Die, that's what we are. That's what we'll be doing. I was willing. But we're not going through the best of times at the minute, so you just got to stick with them. You're thick and thin. Unfortunately, it's been a lot of thin for Sunderland. So we're Sunderland supporters, and that's the way we are.
Exactly. Brilliant. That's a lovely way. That's a lovely way to end it. Sunderland Till We Die. So I thank everyone for watching. Thank you for Peter for coming on as well. I really appreciate it. It's been really good. Apart from a little bit of technical difficulty, it's been okay.
Very much. I've enjoyed. Is that it?
Yeah. No problem. All right then. Yeah, you too. I'll see you later. Right.